Give me a second. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Referees Corner. Bermuda Football Association and Island Stats have teamed up to help drive more interest in youth refereeing and refereeing in general. Joining me today, I gotta say this name right, if not, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Lakea? That's not your name. I know. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Katie Richards.
Katie, I once before said your name wrong, and I only said somebody else's name because I know that the person can't see anything right now because we are live. But first of all, welcome. For you, you're in the under 17 national program for the females.
Yes.
You're a youth referee. Why football?
It's fun, entertaining, and also it's sports. You'll be able to get me a lot of scholarships when I go to college.
Okay. So what got you into football?
When I was about 9, my brother always used to go to a skills and drills camp, Kevin Simpson. And one year I tried it out, and ever since I just loved it.
No. Well, your brother used to play a lot of baseball, so you didn't like that.
I was gonna try it.
Right. Okay. You're in S2 Cedar Bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. There's quite a few girls that play football under 13, under 15, under 17, under 20 that go both Cedar Bridge and Barkley and Salters at Work Academy. But for the ones that you interact with that probably like the game but are not as active as someone like yourself, what's some of the things you're asking them or telling them about football that got you hooked?
It's different, and if you understand the techniques and how to play, it'll be much fun.
Mm-hmm. So you started youth referee.
Yeah.
When you were approached, or did you approach Mr. Williams? How did that go? A little bit of both?
Yes, I was approached.
Okay, and what was your thought process when you were asked if you would like to be a youth referee?
Well, kind of straight yes, because if I learned the actual rules, then I wouldn't get mad at the ref for calling the call, or it's just easier to play because I understand what to do and what not to do.
So you get mad at the ref?
Or if they call a bad call.
What's a bad call? Any call against you is a bad call, isn't it?
No.
No? Okay. So what do you consider as a bad call? And you think it's not a foul?
Say if it's a 50-50 challenge and the other person pulls or trips and they call it, it's a bad call because they're good at it.
Now you've put yourself in that same position because you have to make a decision whether or not you think it's a foul or it's a fair tackle.
Yeah.
And obviously, whichever way you go, somebody's not going to like it, even at the youth age. How are you managing just parents, players, and their attitudes towards a referee's decision or your decision?
It's mainly the coaches because it's very competitive and they want their team to win. So it's two different perspectives from the coaches, and also the parents. Just some are out of hand, but at the same time, I understand because say the ref makes a bad call, or I make a bad call, then it gets on. They get irritated because it's not the call.
Well, would you say you give yourself a chance to make a bad call? It's a call what you see, isn't it? It's not necessarily because what's some of the things you're taught as when you're doing these courses as referee? You have to call what you see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the angle in which you see it, and obviously other people have a different angle and a different view. When you're playing, do you have a different perspective on the game itself because you've been in the middle at a young age and now you're playing? So do you see both sides when you're actually a player as opposed to an official?
Yeah, but when I'm playing, I know what's a being called now because I know the rules and what's a foul, what's not a foul. So if the ref calls something that's clearly not a foul, or like if it's a bad offside call, then I know.
Okay, all right, but 9 times out of 10, are you relying on other people when it's offside? Do you have linesmen or referee
No.
assistants? Okay, so you got to try and make the best call as
Yeah.
possible. Okay, all right. So you know how you guys line up before games and shake hands and all that?
Not at under nines.
No, no, no. I'm talking about when you play. You play under 15, right? But Devonshire coaches.
Yes.
Okay, that's fun. I done it for you. Do you, when you go across the referee, do you say, I'm so and so and I'm a referee too?
No.
Oh,
Most times we don't get like referees, just other coaches.
oh, okay, okay. Oh, so you get me at the coach. That could work for against you. But when you're out there you're out there officiating under sevens, under nines. Do you like to see the kids have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that you would enjoy? One of the reasons why you would officiate because they're kids, they're having fun, other than the parents and coaches on the side wanting to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the funny things you see them doing that you remember doing when you started playing?
Um, some of them the passing isn't too sharp,
Hmm.
and like some of them go the wrong direction too. So that's different.
So you spend a lot of time laughing.
Yeah.
Now you're in the National Academy,
Yeah.
as I said, with the under 17 girls team who advanced to Nicaragua. But you've put in a lot of time with that team, training and so forth. Were you surprised at the outcome of them advancing?
Not really because I knew the potential and also we're all been working hard, so it was kind of easy to accomplish.
Mm. Little disappointed you didn't make the final cut, but obviously still part of the team. So what are you hoping to achieve? Okay, they're coming back tonight. They got a week off and back to training. Ms. Robinson, Coach Robinson's tough nut to crack, and obviously Jenkins will have a lot of say in this team as well. But are you looking to get back into training and finding out what some of the things they learned over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's not much different
Mhm.
because like since Coach Vance, Coach King wasn't able to come, Coach Dankin and Coach Lugo had us for like a couple of weeks.
Right.
So,
Right. Okay. Now back to refereeing, because I see. Do you go to games on Sundays?
yeah.
Senior games? Okay. What are some of the things? Okay. Okay. Take all. If you had to evaluate, did you go to a game on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. And I can tell which game you went to. Okay. So if you can be in that same position, um, how would you approach different situations, especially when you have players confrontation? Two players, we'll use this scenario, on the same team, having a confrontation. How would you handle that? When I say confrontation, verbally at each other.
Just confront both of them, try and resolve what's happening, and go from there.
Okay. Now, when you have two players from opposite teams, because it's easier to get a message to two players on the same team. Now, when you have players person who kind of game's heated, so you've already got that little tension, that little friction going on. How do you as officials handle that?
Depending on how bad the situation is, I'd have to give yellow and red card.
Okay.
But if it's just a small little tussle, then it's just awarded.
Mm. Now, have they taught you how to command? I want to say respect, but command. Yeah, we use respect when blowing the whistle because there's different tunes to get different attentions. Have they taught you that? Not really.
No.
Okay. Sometimes you'll be watching a game You watch professional football. Okay. Sometimes when you're watching the game, you'll hear a referee blow the whistle, but then you hear a different tone in the whistle, and that's just to say, calm it down, you know. So when I always tell people this, when you watch a football game, a professional football game on television, one of the things you have to watch is the person playing your position. The other thing is to watch is the referee. Now that's what you're doing both. So you gotta really kind of pay attention to what's going on to say, okay, where's the ball? Where's my best position as a referee? Where's my best position as a player? Do you find yourself now analyzing professional games or games you can watch and see if the referee is in the right position, if the referee assistant's in the right position? You find yourself doing that more?
Yeah.
So who do you converse with when you're at those games that will understand what you're going through? Because you're going through something different now, but you're looking at the game totally different. So does your mom listen to you? So,
Well, like since they had three thirds, I
mhm.
would just after one third's done, I get to my mama and say like, was it a good pull? Did I do this?
And she gives you advice?
Yeah, most of the time she says you did okay and not to panic.
Oh, you're not that kind of person, are you? No?
No, it depends. Like my first game, the
Hmm.
parents were like shouting and stuff.
Right. So you were nervous going out first. And then, yeah, okay. So how did you handle that situation? You just kept
Um,
playing?
yeah.
Any issues where you feel or felt as if you needed help when it comes to a spectator, either a parent or a coach that needed to be addressed?
No, because I feel like at that level, it shouldn't have that much anger
Right.
towards rap, especially since we're young. Like everybody that's done the course is like young,
Hmm.
so it shouldn't be much anger or like issues.
Right. How many girls done the course when you done it?
Just me and
Oh,
the or like the older, like we do senior games like
oh,
Sandra
oh,
or
okay.
me,
Okay. So how long have you been involved in officiating?
just this year.
This year. Okay. So when you got approached, obviously you went in and talked to your mom and dad. What were their advice back to you?
My mama was there.
Oh, see, he knows how to do it. He got help, whereas the man came to you. See, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. So how long have you been involved with Devon's Colts football program?
Yeah, 5, 6 years
Okay, so you started what under 13 with them, under 10?
on the team.
Okay. Now you're playing one step away from where they play senior football. Um, but obviously there's no senior women's football.
Yeah.
Um, what are you hoping can happen that would allow you not to keep playing? Because if you go over to school, you still want to come back and do something. So are you hoping that the association looks into a more structured um, women's program?
Well, in like my age group, they since it's like the last one, they give
Mhm.
girls like another year, even if they're past the
Right,
age limit to
right.
play.
Okay. So you could play up to 17,
Yeah,
16,
yeah.
16 because it's under 15. Yeah. Okay. But then what?
I was hoping. Well, last season they had the PDL
Right,
league, so I was gonna see if I could play in that.
right. Because you played a few of those matches. No, you didn't. You played in the knockout.
Yeah.
Right, right. You in Micah, right?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So you're looking to go to school now? Soon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you looking? Where you hoping?
Um, England.
Oh, it's cool. Just like the States.
Yeah.
All right. So are there games this weekend for under schools out? So probably not.
Um, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, see, you've been talking for 15 minutes. You could do that, innit?
Maybe.
All right. All right. I'm gonna ask you a question. Are you ready? Look at your mom and I ask the question. What are some things that people don't know about you, including your mom? Nothing? Sure. Is there a favorite food or favorite, anything favorite that people really don't know you like?
I'm always like volleyball, which I started playing it this year.
Oh, yeah?
Hmm.
Indoor?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Within the volleyball league or for school?
for school.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. You know that. She probably knew if
Yes.
she played, that she knew you like it. No, she does. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. It was fun, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't too. You can go outside and breathe now, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I will see. Are you waiting? Are you going to see your teammates come in too?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me. All right. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
We'll see you later on. Okay. Okay. Well, next joining me will be in a few minutes will be another young referee. We're just going to make way for a bit to have the young man join us here. But the Bermuda referee football program is well underway. They have young ladies and men officiating the youth games, which is also helping them to understand what the game is all about. So we'll be back in a few minutes, just joining me with another young referee. Okay, let's come right over here. Good. Okay, now joining me, Jerez Eve. This is your second year officiating? Third year officiating. Something you enjoy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very fun to watch
Right.
how the youth develop over the years.
Mm. What's some of the things you're picking up from referees? I saw you running the line a couple Sundays ago in a under 15 game. But what are some of the things you're picking up from referees that's helping you when you are actually in the middle?
Uh, just watching and learning really like that. Put my finger on a lot of on most of the stuff, but I just watch and learn, see what happens.
Yeah. What about you? Do you understand positioning a little more now?
Yeah,
Trying to, yeah, yeah. What? Because when we first talked about and you was there, you were always talking about um, just the small things that you need to learn about the game. But what are some of the major things you've learned about the game in your 3 years of being an official?
Watch the rules change in the book.
Right.
That's about it.
And trying to understand those rules at the same time. Yeah. Because I mean, you could read a book, I could read a book. You get one interpretation, I get another, then you have to, as a referee or as an official, you have to interpret those rules, but I might not see them the same way. So when you come down to, when you're in the middle, making those decisions, are you trying to implement the letter of the law, or are you just saying, okay, this is how I interpret
It's a bit of both.
it?
So you have to abide by the rules,
Mm-hmm.
but as a referee, it's how you see things,
Mm-hmm.
how you interpret things that happen.
Right. And when you, as I was asking earlier about um, players and competitions, and even though what age groups are you refereeing?
Under sevens to under 9.
Okay, you're in the middle for those, and then you're on the line sometimes for
Yeah.
under 13 and so forth. Okay, so in those games, are you finding challenges outside the kids playing? Are you finding it like coaches are demanding more and wanting
Absolutely.
fouls and so forth?
Absolutely, but that comes with the job.
Right. Right. So how do you manage that?
No, sometimes you can like be so upfront about it. You can. I just have to lock it up sometimes and get on with the game.
Mm.
Maybe I'll talk to them later.
Right.
Most of the time you have to get on.
If you know you're doing an under 7 and under 9 game on a Saturday, how do you prepare Friday night, Saturday morning? How do you get yourself ready? Because obviously you're doing 2 games. It might not seem like a lot, but here lately it's been very hot. And it is taxing on the mind and the body.
Uh, it's not really a big again. I'm still young and everything,
Hmm.
so I guess that's why young is getting to my advantage.
Right,
So it's not really any big.
right. How much do you enjoy football?
I enjoy football a lot.
Yeah, playing or just being around the game?
Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't.
Yeah, okay. Now, obviously everybody knows you're a goalkeeper. Um, by choice or by default?
Uh, look, so what happened was I started in BYSP as
Hmm.
playing under my father,
Hmm.
and I was just that kid that broke everybody, really.
Right.
Trying to play me down the back, I would hurt somebody. Play me up front, I kicked the goalkeeper. So they put me in goal at one point, and I was actually pretty good at that. And then a couple of years in BYSP, I developed, and then I came to club football, and it just started from
Okay. Okay. We can write a lot and you can just not. I need both those ways.
there. So I would save my life, but I heard recently in training I can get
Okay. More comfortable now.
you know,
9 times out of 10, what they say is that your weaker side is because you don't want to land. You're not perfecting that technique of landing on that side. Would you say that would be one of the cases?
not really. I'm
No?
not afraid to fall.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what did you think, or how did you evaluate why you were weaker going to your left and to your right?
I'm right-handed,
Okay.
so my weaker side's my left.
Okay. All right. Back to officiating. You've had the opportunity over 3 years to also do extra courses. Yeah. Have you done any extra courses to learn? Because you talk about the rules changing and so forth.
So I had to take a course at the beginning of each season
Hmm.
to refresh my mind on the rules and state all the rule changes.
Right.
So not really, it's just refreshers
Mm.
basically every year.
Mm. Now, with the new rule changes this year, what are some of the things that have stumped you so far?
Nothing really, it's just different word. You
Hmm.
just have to know by word as a
Right. Yeah.
word.
So when you're officiating under sevens, under nines, do you see yourself in those kids sometimes running around kicking the ball?
Sometimes,
So, well, obviously, PhD,
yes.
yes, goalkeeping. Why did you take up? And I think I asked you this before, but you might have a different answer. Why did you take up officiating?
Because I was referred, I somehow became allergic to a PDL game
Hmm.
at Breeders,
Right.
and I was recruited by Dennis Chacosis coach, and I got an email. I didn't get an email. My mother got an email, and just started from there.
Right.
I got into this course, and now I'm where I am now.
Mm. When your mom said to you, you got an email when you to be an official, what was your thoughts?
See, at that time, I wanted to be a professional manager. I wanted to manage Man United. I wanted to manage Barcelona,
Mm.
and that kind of helped me learn the rules more.
Hmm.
So that would have helped me to my dream.
Hmm.
So that's
It's never over, though, is it? Dream's never over.
not at could still happen.
Right.
Just more realistic. Growing up.
Right.
It's a pretty tough job. I'm not sure.
Coaching? Because you got to please 16 people. And that's just within the changing room. Forget the people that are outside. A lot of people think it's an easy job. But when you're officiating, do you get to see or hear the tactics changing? Because when you're a player, you're focused on what you do. You hear the coach talking directly to you about what you need to do. But when you're an official, you hear all those different things coming out. It becomes a very technical game, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. When you look back on, say, your weekend games, you had 2 games this weekend? One. If you had to give yourself a grade, what out of 10, what would it be?
I'd give myself
9.5. 9.5. Okay. So you left the game feeling good about the decisions you made, the match itself.
Yes.
Yeah. What's that 0.5 you took away from yourself?
Because I'm not in a bad
Right.
mood. It's bad which is shouting at you.
Right. So you missed a call, you made a call. Okay.
But I have to say,
Oh yeah. It's how you put that one behind you and keep going because the game's still got to go on. Yeah. So deep down in it, what are some of the things you've learned about yourself whilst officiating that you probably said to yourself afterwards, wow, I didn't think I could do this, or you know what I mean? Yeah.
it's a lot of fitness
Mm.
people expect you to keep up with the level.
Right.
And when you actually keep up with it, it's basically non-stop running.
Right. And at the end of it, you find yourself, okay, I'm drained. I need to sit down for a minute.
Not to you.
Yeah.
Not for me, I guess.
Right. Mm. Well, for those other people that don't know, you play cricket as well.
Yes.
For PhD.
Yes.
Okay. How has your refereeing helped you to understand sports in general? Because as a referee, you have to know rules.
Officials make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to know.
Right.
That's what it's helped me in sport.
Mm. What other sports are you into?
I just
Oh, okay.
I was on boxing
Mm-hmm.
with continental boxing too,
Right.
but I had to stop it and start playing with the national team.
Right. Okay. They want a little more commitment. Okay. All right. Well, football is a fun-loving sport. Um, to anyone out there your age or a little younger, what advice would you give them to try officiating?
They want to learn English. They want to go far in this game. Then try it.
Is that what you're telling schoolmates as well? Try it?
They just hear I want to get money and how do I sign up for this?
Right. So they're in it for the money, not in it for the real. Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate your time. All right. Okay. That's Jerez Eve, another young referee, and that's it for the Bermuda Football Association Referee Corner here on IsStats.com. We'll be back next week with more referees right here from the Bermuda Football Association office. Have a great night.